Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Oscar Cisneros, and here we are again on a beautiful Thursday morning. It's January 6th, and just want to let you guys know what we've been doing recently, and want to let you guys know the exciting things that are happening. It's really interesting and really, really, really cool that as the new year kind of comes upon us, that it really is a special time for everybody to create something new for yourself. Everybody has the opportunity to improve what they couldn't improve last year. However, that involves a little bit of something that we call self examination or reflection. And we have to look inside of ourselves and we have to figure out, well, have we been meeting the mark or have we been missing our mark? And if so, by how much? That's why it's real critical and real important for you guys to write your goals down so that as you miss your target, you don't move your goalpost, right? Because once it's been written down, it's already been established. There's no changing it, there's no going back. And if you try to erase it with an eraser or scratch it out, the evidence is there. So make sure to hold yourself accountable this year and write your goals down. Be very specific with how you intend to accomplish them, how you intend to move forward with them, how to implement them. And if you begin to live your day by day as if it has already come true, well, I mean, what can't you do with your hands, right? So real quick, and then regarding that, I want to share with you guys a little bit of my goal and what I've been planning for this year. And if you guys are familiar with the idea, I have been a mobile mechanic since 2019. I started a company called Grease Monkey Mobile Mechanic. I have been the owner and operator of that enterprise, and it has been pretty good for me. However, it's gotten to a point where I myself have begun to develop some self-examination and what I wanted to change. And the industry is pretty brutal. I'll say that. But it's one of those things where you say to yourself, well, am I going to be doing this for another 10, 15 years? So I decided to pivot my business into a completely different direction. Still in the same field, but it's just a different endeavor. More specific rather than generalized, right? Or rather than a generalization. So this is what we're doing. I'm gonna show you guys the concept. So about a year and a half ago, I bought a van from one of my clients, and the van, I had aspirations for it. Everybody always does when they buy something. Convert it into a camper, turn it into a work truck, and for me, the van has just remained idle. It hasn't done anything at all. So I wrote my goals down, and as you begin to do that, you begin to, you know, the right people in the right season begin to come into your life, right? So I went to go see a guy yesterday, highly recommended through one of my real good brothers in Christ, and we went to go do a little consultation about getting the van wrapped up, getting ready for a new business. So the name of the company now is going to be called Break and Go Mobile. Check this out, guys. Break and Go Mobile. Now I know there's going to be people saying that they're hating and why that, and I don't really care, right? But what's really cool about this concept is the truck looks like a WD-40 can, right? Blue, red, and yellow with a little bit of white. And the idea behind this is still a little rough draft here. There's improvements. We're definitely going to add them on there. But the idea is to create brand recognition. And when you see something, certain colors, they stick out and they stand out at you, and they create a perception in your mind. So WD-40, the colors at least, they are, and this was actually, the color scheme was actually a little unintentional. Like, I wasn't directly looking to say, hey, I want to be like a WD-40 can. That's just after we put it all together, that's how it came out. And the idea is that, well, everybody knows and recognizes that brand, and everybody can associate that brand with a fix or a repair. So the idea and the hope is that this color scheme, the way it's laid out, can also generate a little bit of a repair mentality, so that when they see it, it pops and says, hey, you know what? My brakes have been making a squeaking sound. So we're going to be going in or diving in to what just the brake world, just brakes. We're not going to be deviating and doing tune-ups or belts or any of that kind of stuff. We're just going to be specifically focusing on brakes. I think it's going to be a terrific service, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's a terrific service. I'm excited about it. First of all, the auto repair industry is in a place right now where it's in need of repair itself. I read an article about that the other day, and I couldn't agree more. You know, whether it comes, and I'm going to focus more on the consumer aspect of it, or the consumer side. And the fact is that in today's world, right? Just pay attention. In today's world, it is extremely difficult to find somebody that's competent, somebody that's reliable, somebody that says and does what they say they're going to do, has the knowledge to do it, and can do it with a smile. With a smile. A genuine and sincere smile. The ability to give gratitude and thank you. The ability to create rapport and not just say hi, bye, see you later, but actually become interested in the person themselves. You see, we live in a time where it is extremely, extremely easy to stand out. It's very, very easy to differentiate yourself from everybody else. Why? If I ask you to walk a mile, 9 out of 10 people will walk just that mile. There is a select individual that will walk 2, though. Right? And it's that person that's willing to do a little bit more than everybody else. That's how you stand out. When you smile at people and really become excited to see them, that makes you different right off the bat. When you close the mouth and open your ears and really listen and give genuine feedback, you just made yourself different. And that is very, very rare. I have this book here that I've read by Dale Carnegie. As you can see, it's kind of ripped up. I need to get another one. But this book, I've had it for many, many years. And it shows you how to win friends and influence people. This book has come to me through a person that I used to watch and follow. But there is a little small section of a chapter that I would like to share. And it is the greatest winner of friends. And if we can learn from these creatures or these beings or these manifestations of wonderful creation, it is how they earn their living and why they're welcome almost anywhere. And I'll start off first with a baby. You see, a baby is a bundle of joy. It's pure, it's absolute, it's just, it radiates innocence. So when you're walking through the supermarket or you're walking down the hallways of a mall and you see a little baby and the baby looks at you and the baby smiles, I mean, unless you got a cold heart, but most people are inspired by that and they smile back to that baby because that smile creates a blanket of warmth that just kind of encompasses you. So you smile back. Now, what makes that smile so special? I'll tell you in just a minute. The second winner of friends and is almost greeted with excitement. People are jumping out of their pants. And matter of fact, it's almost jumping out of its skin to greet you. He has 4 legs and he wags his tail feverishly. It's a dog. A dog, when he sees you, what does the body do? You know, they're just shaking back and forth, sometimes uncontrollably, and they just want to jump all over you, and you return the favor. You're excited to see them. How can you not be, right? So, in knowing how the baby and the dog operates, again, what is it, or why is it that they're able to have such success in what they do? And the answer is quite simple. The answer is this. they're not trying to sell you anything. They're not trying to get you to sign up for anything. They're not making you, hey, look over here, hey, look over there. They have no underlying intentions. They're not trying to manipulate you into doing this or doing that. They are sincerely and genuinely, and focus on those words, sincerely and genuinely interested in you. And that is how you must be when you smile at people. And you also have to be excited to see people. Because if you show up just melancholy and you're just kind of like, hey, what's going on? Like the service that I get at most restaurants, or when I go buying supplies at a store, or when I meet some vendors, they lack that spunk. They don't have the it factor. And it's very, very, very demoralizing to want to continue to do business with people like that, where they won't even take the time to remember your name. They won't take the time to spark up a random conversation with you. They just, hey, how you doing? Okay, thanks. All right, appreciate you. See you later. And you know what? The thing is, it's not their fault. To a point it is, right? Because you have to be consciously aware of what you're doing and how you're doing. But a lot of people just enter autopilot mode, right? How many of you guys clock into work and you just, boom, autopilot mode, you do the routine, it starts to come your way, and as soon as you know it's 5 o'clock, you punch out and, all right, let's go hang out, let's go do something. It's a routine. So this is something that if you don't constantly refresh, if you don't constantly discipline yourself, it is a perishable skill and you will forget how to do it. Same thing with like learning a language. If you know, Spanish is my first language, and because I don't really practice it as much as I should, right, to a point I have lost the ability to speak it as I used to, right, because it's perishable. If you don't touch up on those skills, you will get rusty. So it's a thing where, if you're a manager, if you're a leader, if you're in a position of authority and you have people underneath you, well, you have that responsibility to create the environment, right? Because if it's not that way, if you allow the stresses of work, the stresses of this, stresses of that to bring you down, well, you're going to feed that into the group mentality, right? So take a moment to learn from the baby. Take a minute to learn from the dog and apply those in your life, and you're going to see almost instantly the effects and the transformations that you're going to have with people, and how that is going to relate in your life and roll over into your life. I've had success not just because I'm a pretty good mechanic. It goes way beyond that. It's the ability to care. It's the ability to enthusiastically be excited when you meet people. We went to go get donuts yesterday, and when we're greeted I'll just kind of give you an example. When we went inside, we opened the door, and they say, I'm not going to say their name, but they say, hi, welcome to the donut shop. Hey, good to see you. What can I get you today? Okay, chocolate bar, French cruller, anything else? Couple donut holes, great. All right, your total is $2.54. All right, plus debit or credit. If you want to give a tip, let us know. All right, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate you. Bye. Now, the interaction was not sincere. The interaction, the thank you, the gratitude, it wasn't genuine. And you can feel that. And the audacity to flip it over for a tip, and that happens every day, guys. I mean, it can happen at Walmart, it can happen at Target, it can happen at your local mom and pop. And it's frustrating, right? Because, you spend your dollars, which is really a translation of your time, doing something that you didn't really necessarily want to do, and you give it to them. Versus, hey, how you doing today? Good to see you. How you been? Or how are you? What's new? Hey, some really great shoes. Where'd you get them at? I mean, if you're asking, you better be... I'm just giving you an example, right? I saw somebody the other day who had some really nice shoes, and where'd you get them at? What made you get them? Asking follow-up questions that don't ask, hey, how much does those cost? Right? Because then the conversation just kind of dies. And that's just kind of a covetousness mentality. But, say, hey, those are really nice shoes. Why'd you get those? Where'd you get them at? Did they have other colors? Right? You act in a way where deep down inside you really do care. And you're not just acting, you're living this, okay? Scratch what I said earlier. You're living this. So, again, I hope that you guys can take that, and hopefully, I know it's a little stretched out, but sometimes the point has to be made, and I truly hope that whoever's watching this video can at least feel some type of response to that, and that they can choose to intentionally make a decision today to be different, to be unique, to stand out, by not being bitter, but by being a little more positive, by not being motivated, but by being disciplined. And in doing so, life can be extremely, extremely exciting. And that's why I'm extremely excited about this. Actually, this is going to be done sometime next week. I'm doing a couple final alterations to the van in terms of security, and getting toolboxes and stuff mounted, and we're going to see where that goes. The goal with this business is to get another person with me that has experience, that has the competency to be able to tackle any type of job, has seen it before and isn't going to get stuck doing it. Somebody that is dedicated, somebody that is motivated, somebody that is not just going to show up, work for a week, quit because it's just too much for them. Somebody that can care, somebody that can smile, somebody that can or has the desire to learn how to be correct with people. So and ultimately, guys, all of that it sums down to one thing, right? And this is where it kind of gets a little juicy if you're still watching. The reason that we treat people right, the reason that we care about them is not because of the money. The money's secondary. Let me say that again. The money is secondary, right? We treat our neighbor, or we love our neighbor as we love thyself. That is the golden rule right there. Love your neighbor as you love thyself. Jesus said that. He said, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. He said, love God with all your heart, mind, body, soul, and strength. And love thy neighbor as you love thyself. And if you can do that, you will fulfill all of the commands. Because love triumphs every time over knowledge, over pride, arrogance, materialism, all of that. Money triumphs. Love triumphs over all of that. And we do that again because there is value in the lives of every human being. So I know a lot of people would question that last statement, but at the end of the day, we're not all perfect either, right? So, but we try every best, at least I hope, to examine oneself and to become objectively good. Not relatively good, but objectively good. But I just want to say that. Thank you guys for checking this video out. I hope that this video, after 19 minutes, has accompanied you with your coffee today. I hope that you guys have learned something today. And please, just to kind of recap and close this video out. Number one, write your goals down. That allows you to not move the goalpost. Number two, learn something from the baby and from the dog. Learn how to be excited to see people genuinely. Learn how to give compliments genuinely. And learn how to smile genuinely, sincerely, right? Second of all, we do that because people are valuable. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. And aside from that, I hope God blesses you guys today. I hope that today could be the day where the world of the sun opens up to you and there is just an abundance of knowledge and discernment and wisdom that just shines upon you guys. But more importantly, love over everything. Thank you guys for checking this video out.